have you seen anything like that?
Righto, we're back. Episode Who Cares? Ron's got something to say. Straight off the top. Everyone, obviously, we're back in the swing of it, but I'm handballing it straight over to Ron on my right. Or left on screen if you're watching on YouTube.
Welcome back, everyone. Joel and Hammer going to the US Open, teeing it off round one as a team in Ambrose.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
That team right there,
Best team ever.
wouldn't break 100.
As a two-ball Ambrose?
Yep.
What?
I agree.
I wanted to start off with an argument.
No, I'm a
serious?
realist. Well, I'll argue, right? Because
right,
I'm a
hang on a
realist. I completely understand. Mate, you're off your head. I listened to the podcast, that came out last week.
Yeah, that I'm making a cut on the PGA Tour.
No,
not necessarily this one.
Mate, you're off your head.
It was it was tough. It was difficult.
Oh, so you're just saying this one?
I wouldn't have made this cut, no doubt about that. But I'm making a cut. But anyway, that's not the point. You just said we wouldn't break 100 if we were playing Ambrose. So what is that? 29 over par.
What's your short game like, though?
Excellent.
Oh, hold on a minute.
No.
Excellent.
Maybe I'm on Team Joel Hammer.
Well, hang on a minute. Let's think about it for a second. We're playing. There's no limit to. You don't have to take a certain amount of drives. It's just
just like pure best shot every time. Joel and Hammer, 107.
so not 107.
100%.
No, I don't think so. Because the whole idea of breaking 100 there is not miss fairways. If you're not going in the rough, you're not getting over 100.
Wait, is this the whole scenario of 12 months of training?
No,
Or
this
like
is just me and you right now.
Okay, all right. Well, let's go off current form right now. What did you have on the weekend?
33 points, 86 off the stick.
I had an 88.
Okay, well, we're doing it. Done. Hang on a minute. Wait a second. Hang on a minute. Let's actually break it down and think about it for a second. One of us would get off the tee with an iron, and if it's...
I watched several videos of YouTube golfers playing and not getting their ball to the fairway, off the back tees, not even clearing it. And these boys are probably hitting it. I'd say.
Oh, we hit it
over
further,
200.
mate. Come on, please. Grant Horvat, you got a beautiful swing, mate, but you hit it 250 yards.
I find
Good on you, Grant.
Yeah, you know what?
He's a gun, that guy.
This can't go anywhere because I can't keep up with your confidence. I've never.
Yes, you can, because we've never played on an Ambrose team together.
You and I probably have the most opposite.
You could literally roll out of bed and drag your bottom lip across the ocean to get to Oakmont, and I could still pick you up, and we'd get confident and kinetic together.
I play better hungover, so maybe I'll just get on the beers the night.
1,000 stubbies, that's fine.
This has gone as good as I hoped.
I'm confident we'd break 100.
I feel like with a little bit more encouragement, I would be on
We
Team
would
Hammer.
definitely break 100 because we're just two blokes teeing off. One of us gets the fairway.
That's the first thing. Straight away, there's a big... Hang on, one of you. What if the first bloke carves it, the second bloke goes, it's all up
No,
to
because
me.
the first bloke hits an iron. If he misses it, the second bloke hits an iron. You're getting on... What are you on? You're off 8. I'm off 10.
It's questionable.
It's awkward to get on the fairway, but you're on the fairway more often than you're not with an iron, I think, off a tee, and we're going under 100.
In the comments, write, what's that symbol? Over or under?
Over unders, yeah.
Over
The
and
crocodile,
over.
the reverse crocodile. Or
Give
the
them,
forward crocodile.
let's have a look, because I feel like the people are going to agree with me here.
Well,
I'm getting attacked for no reason. I'm
Yeah.
I'll float the fence.
I'm
on
here
this
trying
one.
to-
Whichever
that's
wins,
unusual.
I'm on their side.
Oh, bullshit. Here I am trying to pick you up. I'm carrying a two-man.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's like that scene. You seen Lord of the Rings? Anyone seen Lord of the Rings? It's like that last scene where Frodo is getting carried. You're Frodo at the moment, and I'm Samwise carrying you up. And here's Ron, old Gollum over there, just jumping on us, trying to attack. Ridiculous. I'm doing all the work, hucking us up Mount Doom. Just stay on the fairway. We're breaking 100.
Your comment about making the cut?
I certainly would have made this one. No way.
No,
I'm not making this one.
He's yabbing his way out of this. Isn't he?
Yeah.
No, hang on a minute. I'm being realistic. I didn't say I needed to make every cut. I just needed to make one.
What you said, you obviously footy, right? Yep. This is the equivalent statement, right? Okay. And you tell me if you agree with this. Right, yeah. If I trained for a whole year, AFL, 16 hours a day, worked on everything, got big. Oh, it's hard to get bigger than this. I reckon I'll get drafted.
That's not the equivalent.
That's got to be close, Joel. Surely.
I'm doing something else at the moment.
I think the equivalent.
Sorry.
I think the equivalent would be you training a whole year for it, playing every single game.
Yep.
And in one of those games, having
5-bagger.
No, not having a 5-bagger.
To make the cut compared to kicking 5 goals.
No, kicking 5 goals is like coming top 10. I think you need to have 15 and 2.
You go in the forward
That's a
pocket against
massive
this short
game,
fat
actually.
guy.
That's an enormous game.
I've just messaged Braden Becker. He's a Australian touring professional. I think he's currently leading the Order of Merit for Australia. He just shot a 10 under course record. He's won, I think, 3 or 4 events in the Pro-Am swing. I played a round of golf with him up in Karratha. He shot the lights out. I've just messaged him. He listens to the podcast as well.
Yeah, good on
Thanks very much.
Of course he does.
The
Fastest growing podcast in the world.
Yes.
We are.
Listened to by PGA pros in Australia.
Obviously.
Just asked
And
him
internationally.
in the scenario. I just want a yes or a no from him. Whether you'd make with the scenario 12 months on the car. I just very curious to see.
Actually,
what he says.
and while you do that, I'll text someone as well.
Oh, here we go. We're all just on our phones. Anyways, Chopper, I'm back, mate. So obviously I missed last week.
I've just sent a text off to JJ Spawn. I'll just wait for him. I'll wait for him because he listened to the podcast as well.
Big fan of him.
Yeah, great. He's a big fan of us.
was
And
quite-
you, actually. He was saying, I don't know why you're so down on yourself. He was just telling me the other day how he reckons you'd go under 100 if we played together.
Really?
Which is funny. Funny you bring that up.
I am so happy how this started.
Anyway.
Yeah, you proud of yourself?
Yeah,
mate?
done well.
yeah,
Yeah,
good on you. Anyway, we're back. So there's that. We're all back together for the first time in seems
Yeah.
like forever.
It does. It feels like I haven't seen you for 6 months.
It's like a Wolfpack reunion.
So I was up at Karatha last week, mate. I spent the week up in Karatha.
What a beautiful part of the
What a
world.
place that is.
Not in summer. Stinking hot in summer.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I,
perfect time
Avoid
to
it at
go.
all costs in summer.
I picked the
Perfect
right
time
time of the year. The earbud's falling out. I think
That's right. Don't worry about it. I'll tell you when we need it.
Jaden was right. So yeah, got up there on the Monday, and basically the week went Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's how the weeks go. Sorry. Played golf on the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Okay.
First day was a video for my YouTube with Brad Becker. Went really well. It was fantastic. And then I absolutely shut the bed for the real competitions.
That's disappointing.
On the Wednesday and Thursday. Pretty standard, I thought, for me. Don't show up when I need to. Unless there's a crowd.
Unless we're playing Ambrose at Oakmont.
Yeah.
In which case we go on 97. 97. But that's fair.
Spent the week up there. Well looked after by... Mate, it's like going to a country town. Everyone looks
Community.
after you.
It's a
Great
lovely
community.
spot. Did you go to the Mermaid Tavern?
No. Went to the Irish...
Get the shirt?
Nah.
Panic?
I went proper greedy boy.
Yeah, it's scary when she's standing there looking at you.
Oh, no one was standing there watching me.
Oh, okay.
Well, she might have been. I was pretty deep by that point, but I loved it up there. Yep, I'll be going next year, I think.
There you go.
Very good.
We'll all go up next year when Virgin sponsor us and fly us up there.
Yeah. It was the course, no bunkers on the course. So straight away I thought, I've got this wrapped up. This is mine. But it's tricky in other ways.
Windy.
Wind was up, but yeah, it's the greens are so funky and fast, and
Yeah.
they had to be on the fairway. Or it was sort of like game over.
It's a bit like us at Oakmont.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
No shot at 88. But might be one of my favourite courses I've played.
Really?
Yep.
Really?
I'd put it in potentially. It's certainly in top 10.
Is it because of like the community?
Nah, like I'm talking goal, like the course specific.
Yeah, right.
Just there's no 2 holes that are the same.
Yeah.
Like it just really isn't. Lots of dogleg lefts, which I thought I'd be cooked with. But the peak, like the elbow of the dogleg was like enough to get like a driver or something to it, and then it snapped off.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and had the drone up, so it was like I've seen it sort of from all angles.
It looks nice.
Fantastic, big fan.
I'd like to go up and play there.
Yeah.
I'd just like to go. I mean, when this gets massive, which is already is biggest golf podcast in the world, as I already said, we're just going to travel.
Imagine
the
doing
world
the
and play golf.
pod in the Karatha.
I've
pub.
thought about this.
God.
Hey, I was thinking about it yesterday. I normally listen to other podcasts and stuff when I'm driving, but at the moment I'm just thinking about lots of stuff. So I'm pausing it and I'm thinking
About us.
about us. Yeah.
Wow.
You're getting a lot of my time.
That's good. That's what I like. I'm working 11 jobs, and this one takes up the most.
But imagine doing a live podcast from a golf
clubhouse.
club. Yep. Thought about it, and I think probably a bit premature at the moment. Like we're only, what is this, episode 10?
11 and a half, 10 and a half.
Yeah.
Start off like with an argument like that. That'll get everyone up and about.
Well, as I said, and we keep saying it, we're the number one growing podcast ever,
Yeah.
backed by stats.
But
Facts.
I picture, imagine, it could be anywhere, but I was just thinking, Kwinana, obviously, it's like sitting up there in the clubhouse, Kwinana, on a Friday, starts at 3 o'clock. I don't know. I just had that in my
there's
mind.
an American crew that do that. We'll play we'll go, but they'll do it at like events. So they'll go to an event and do a podcast there, and just have the players walking past, like jump on the mic for a bit, and then walk off.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
That'd be us.
Could you imagine doing a pod after the John Daly Classic?
I also
definitely-
thought about that, and I thought, for the sake of
Definitely will be
No
doing
English
that.
should be.
yeah,
We definitely will be doing that.
Subtitles will be needed.
I'd do it like a post game.
Yeah, we should do. We're definitely doing a post-game press conference.
I promise you, like my score will be something like 14 under.
Best podcast we've ever done.
Like I'm either winning it or I'm not coming out alive, or I could potentially win it and still not come out alive.
There's I'll tell you what. I've been getting the John Daly Classic has been taking up a lot of Instagram messages coming towards me. People are really invested in it.
Me too, yeah.
One of the ones that has been coming thick and fast is to add the beer stick gimme rule.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that?
No.
So every beer you drink, you tape it together like a big wizard stick.
Oh, already
and
a fan.
That's your gimme range. So like if you drink 20 beers and your beer stick is like 5 meters long, you get every putt inside that.
You know what? He's probably at the biggest advantage with that. You just need to have like 4 cans, and then that's
you're
more
all
putts
done.
than you'll make. Yeah. Well, I'm just being honest, mate.
I actually, I think we could include that in the John. But like, I also like the idea of just not seeing straight, seeing 4 or 5 balls, and then just
Yeah.
oh
The,
boy,
like,
butted it the wrong way, mate.
listen-
Sorry, the holes
he
over
greened
there.
it. He got
That's
the
your
wrong-
driver, mate.
It's still his go.
You have selected power drive.
To get the John Daly Classic to happen,
We're at 2,500, by the way.
yeah, but we need 5,000 on YouTube. So I'm going to be a greedy boy and tell you to subscribe on the YouTube.
Yep.
Yep.
So many things you can do actually. So you can, while we're talking it, we're
doing a bit of housekeeping, are
We're
we?
just doing housekeeping, early housekeeping. We actually haven't spoken about the biggest part of the week for golf yet, so we'll get to that. We did mention JJ Small a little bit. Anyway,
We don't have enough time.
nah, we've got.
we
This needs to be a 6-hour podcast. Just a full live stream for 6 hours. Anyway, we're on Instagram, The Swing of It. We're also on YouTube at The Swing of It. You can jump on our website and find everything there. So we're at 2,500 YouTube subscribers, which is exceptional. Really well done. Thanks to everyone who subscribed. As you said, we need to get to 5,000. And it was, if my memory serves me correctly, we spoke about this last week. It was 6 months or 5,000, whichever came first for the John Daly Classic.
Yep.
I think 5,000 will come first because we've been going for 2 months and we're halfway there. And it's exponential, baby. We're going up. Subscribe on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next thing is our Patreon. Like we're at 100 paid patrons, which is exceptionally good stuff. Like it's less than a pint of Guinness at Kwinana a month.
And they get all the swear words and the
You get
everything.
Speaking of,
that is just from
that's
the Patreon
Hammers.
section.
That's my swear.
Has someone
jar.
been taking money out of that?
Yeah, no.
Put your credit card in, mate. Just
No, what have I brought a little.
Yeah.
Anyway, as I speak, that's half of. So all of a sudden, there's $9 in there. That is, we're $1 short of a month as a swinger. So throw your keys in that jar and join. Throw your keys in the fishbowl and be a swinger for an extra $10 a month. You get early access to stuff. I think I'm making that up. If I'm not, whatever.
Nah, that's true.
That's true.
I've heard someone say
Ad-free
that.
content. You get extra content that we've been doing. I think we've been a bit liberal on that. I've been told we've been going overs, which is great. We do. We're going above and beyond for our
What,
listeners.
promising more than we're delivering?
Yeah, a little bit.
That does sound like
but
something
it's-
you
I'm
would
on board
do.
with that.
It's swing tips. It's there's a group chat that apparently we're involved in that.
Mate, when I was in Karatha, some bloke got a selfie with me, right? And he goes, "Oh, everyone's having a laugh about it in the group chat." And I was like, "Oh yeah, what group chat?" And he's like, "The
Swingers.
Patreon,
The Swingers."
the Patreon group chat." And I'm like, "I'm not in it." And I'm
I'm not in it
Yeah,
either.
I'm also thinking, I'm not paying a subscription for that.
So-
I'm like, I'm the one that has to talk.
So we're doing that. You can jump on there. So that's on our website. You can sign up to be a patron. I'd like this golf Bible that we're doing. You weren't here last week, but I'll explain. I'll go.
I'm equally, I'm involved in that too. Like a third of that is me as well.
Yeah. So
I heard him claim that he said it. I didn't actually listen to the podcast where he claimed it.
You weren't here when I said it, so you.
I haven't gone back to listen.
I'm a
whether-
third
I've
in
just
on
let I've just let you claim it. I actually haven't gone back to listen.
I did. And
I
did.
have a weird
He wasn't
feeling.
here. Me and you.
I know I wasn't here, but I have a weird feeling that it was my idea.
Oh,
Got him.
It's definitely just like it.
I can't believe I thought of the golf Bible.
I remember you called me the day of, like, and you said there's no, it wasn't a text. You called me. Anyway, you can jump on there and become a patron. $10 a month. You get early access to everything that we do. We're getting some sponsors. We can't say too much, but we're sponsoring up. This is obviously the biggest golf podcast of all time. I'm thinking you're getting some stuff, so you may as well do it. And I think it's it'll help us grow. So do that.
US Open.
US Open. That's housekeeping out of the way. Housekeeping done. The house is kept.
Did you watch it?
I watched it.
Yeah.
Not all of it, but I watched it. I watched a little bit of Thursday, Friday, Saturday, as the week goes, and then watched the last 11 holes of
Yeah.
the got up early in the morning and watched the last 11 holes of Sunday.
It was like watching a car crash, and then
Yep.
whoever could just get through all the carnage won it.
Correct. What a fucking...
Oh,
Nah, that's because that's in there. That has to be in there. What a fucking brutal tournament.
Yeah, double down. Yeah,
it
good.
was unbelievable.
Did you like it being like that
I
hard?
loved it.
Yeah, okay.
People
it
have
was a good
asked-
change.
People have said, "Oh, you know what? What do you think? Would you rather like a 10?" The Masters was perfect. Like, what was it, 12 under or something?
Yep.
That won. Like, that's a great. Then Scotty won by a million shots the next week. But this to have one bloke go under par for the whole week, I thought was exceptionally good golf to watch.
Couldn't agree more. I didn't think that I'd like that because I'm thinking, oh, these guys are missing a green and then they're not getting up and down and making bogey. I was like, well, that's just my golf every week. I'm like, I'm sick of seeing my own golf. But it would have to be. So we were watching it. Yes, was that yesterday?
Yeah.
yesterday
We were
morning.
watching it yesterday whilst we were filming a video for Chopper's YouTube.
Early.
Yes,
Fog.
Oh, yeah.
lots of fog.
Was foggy, actually.
I had the phone underneath the camera so he's trying to make a putt and I'm like, I can just hear like the camera drifting off, and I'm trying to watch a putt drop, but I've never been so excited. So like, Adam Scott has like 140 yards, misses the green, goes on long, and it's just he's cooked.
Cabbage.
That's him done. And we watched it. He fist pumped a bogey. You know, that just goes to show how tough that was.
He and Sammy Burns, that feature group, I just felt horrible for because like they were in it, and then you could just see it started to just go. I think Burns was in a divot on 11. He was in another divot on 14, and then Watergate for him.
Yep.
That was the shit. I could not believe that was not given casual water.
I don't understand
He had
the rule
two
then, if that
rules
wasn't
officials, and like, did you see the video of that guy afterwards going up and like standing exactly where it was, and you can just like see the water in the practice swings. He was getting splashed in the face.
given. Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, mate, I think that's water." No, it's not. Can I get a second opinion on that, please? Because it's definitely water.
Yeah.
It was bullshit. How does that not? Like, that's cost him. It's, well, I mean, yeah, he might not have won anyway, but he like snap hooked it left and like had a double.
There's always going to be controversies like that, but I think that was almost
That's
blatantly-
concept.
it's
That's
blatantly obvious.
blatantly obvious that he's just literally in a puddle.
yeah.
Two big stories from one. Obviously, you're not the biggest fan of Rory, and I'll tell you what, he has gone down 50
In everyone's
points.
book.
Smashing a tee marker, throwing a golf club.
Multiple
Nah,
golf clubs.
Not on, man.
The tomahawk, big fan.
Yeah,
to be honest,
good throw.
but not a good look for golf.
Nah.
I heard actually something very funny. My boss told me the other day when we were talking about swinging, like throwing golf clubs. It was on the back of this. If you're ever angry on a golf course and you think you're going to throw your golf club, put it in your opposite hand and throw it.
Yes.
Get as angry as you physically can because you throw it like a fucking idiot and you can't throw it more than 2 meters and it still gets all the frustration out.
Yep.
Yep.
But
And
don't-
everyone else gets a laugh because you look like a
Don't throw your club. Yeah, he went down. It was tough to go further down than he already was on my run.
That hitting the tee box, that's no.
You can't
What
do
are you
that.
doing, mate?
Did I see? Now I probably should remember his name. He smashed into
Wyndham Clark.
Wyndham Clark, just one of the worst names ever. Wyndham
He's
Clark.
More like
Yeah.
losed him. Got him.
got him. Hey, got him. Take that, Losed Clark. But yeah, I don't know whether it was just social media crap, but it says
No.
he's banned. That's him done.
No. Oh, sorry. No, that is not real, but that should be real.
Should be.
How do you kick in if you went to cot and kicked into what is it, lockers?
Yeah, I'd be in
Look,
trouble.
you're out.
I'd be in a
See you
real
later, mate.
world.
Yeah, you're disqualified.
Yeah, you would be disqualified. I also like
And when I say disqualified, I mean DQ'd from the
DQ'd
course.
from the course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see you later,
the
bye-bye.
conversations that like Rory's post game stuff too.
Yeah.
He obviously doesn't like the media.
Well, they're not. I read something like all the questions are never about. They're always like baiting him to say something controversial.
Yeah.
It's never. So he's just like exhausted and saying,
Yeah.
like, just ask me about my golf. That's how it
Yeah.
used to be. Now it's always like a little bit of an undertone. Like, are you trying to catch me out with something?
I see that though. I that to me, not wanting to speak to the media.
We said it
Fantastic.
at the first pod. When you play a game
Yeah.
of footy, they never go to the guy that lost.
Yeah, they never go straight away. So I'm fine with them. I'm fine with Rory not talking to the media. What I think he should do, jump on Bryson's YouTube page, do something like that.
I think he's too
Get
far
out there.
gone.
Something must be going on. You're not. I read something like he's got no motivation.
You've won a Masters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
and that can happen when you've hit the pinnacle.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of going through it at the minute. Like recently, hang on.
Hold
through it at the
on.
minute, hit the pinnacle.
I'm ready.
So he's won the
I'm ready to hear
Masters.
this.
He's won the Grand Slam. It was one of the pinnacles, and he has no motivation. And I just recently shot under par a while back. Like, where do I go from here?
I thought I was going to hear something
About making a putt?
Yeah,
I made a 3-footer.
anything, mate.
What else is there to do in golf?
You shot under par at.
While back.
We don't need to go on about it. We're talking about Rory.
Okay.
And how you guys are so similar.
Yeah, like
After you've
Masters,
just said that he's
whale
down
back.
all the way down the bottom, he's dropped 7 rungs. Oh, we're basically.
But he
the
has
same.
no motivation. That's what he's been talking about. Like
Yeah.
which you get. Like you hear that a lot. That you win, you work your whole life for something, get it, and then what's the next?
And it'd be also really hard. I mean, this is a weird thing to say because it wouldn't be really hard. You've made millions and millions and millions of dollars, but like the motivation for guys like JJ Spawn is, I want to keep my tour card. I want to provide for my family, and I need to make money because this is hard.
Yep.
But for Rory, it's like,
You know what?
money ain't an issue. If money's the issue, we've got no issues.
You know what I reckon would be one of the best things he could do, and he's already going to leave a massive legacy? Retire.
Now,
Just call it a day.
Crazy.
What's he want to achieve now?
well, I would want to be out of that basket of like Brooks winning
Yeah,
the
yeah,
same
yeah.
amount as Brooks Koepka. You want to like, hang on,
Big
there's
deal,
Phil-
mate. There's always going to be someone better. He's never going to get the record, and someone's always going to take over that record. So it's like, just call it a day, mate.
Well, that's the difference between like the greats.
Well, that's probably why I'm not winning majors, I guess.
Yes, yeah. They always
Just
had a goal.
monthly mugs.
Hey,
I'm saying.
speaking of, I feel like I've dropped off since I won the monthly mug. Maybe I'm going through a bit of a Rory.
Well, it's because you didn't play. You didn't play. You had your tooth ripped out. Then you're not drinking. All of a sudden,
He called me, and he called me and said, I need to have a chat, and I think it's time that I get a golf lesson.
Yeah, I've hit rock bottom. I think my scores aren't the worst they've been, but my golf is. If that,
yeah, that checks out.
Yeah.
My I actually feel the same. So, actually, before we leave, we'll get to that because we'll talk things. We're going to talk golf. We're going to talk lessons. We need to talk things. Before we leave the US Open, that putt on the last.
Yep.
I can't remember. I'm just trying to think about better putts.
65 foot it was.
The one where Tiger at the back of 16 Sawgrass, that is an exceptionally good putt. The one
Oh,
where
sorry. Yeah,
17
it was a chip in on 16. At
yeah,
Masters,
the
yes.
17th Sawgrass, that putt. The one where Jack Nicklaus was playing that charity round and just said, well, I'll putt it, and then walked over and just went bang and nailed it.
Yep.
That's up there. And then that is in my top 3 putts I've ever seen.
Well, if you're putting Tiger down, you've got to put Fat Perez as well because he had the exact same putt from the exact same spot.
Yeah.
It's magical. You know the one I'm talking about?
It was Tiger that did it, so it was way better. But like, that
Adam
for
Scott,
me,
18th Masters, when he said, come on, Aussie, and he
yeah,
that
but
putt. That's a good one.
But like, that's what it was, a 10, 12, 13 foot putt.
Yeah.
65-foot putt. And like, I looked at that. So my family, all the brothers were texting, and it was like, that's got 3 jab written all over it.
Snaky boy.
Yeah, because he's from miles out. And all of a sudden, it's like, okay, all the pressure in the world to just get this close to give yourself a look at a win, and he's just jailed it. And
Perfect pace too. Like if it missed, it's like stumped.
it's the best putt I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I seen it was like a meme, and it said it was the scene where is her name Veronica, the Happy Gilmore's girlfriend.
Yeah.
And she's like, just take a 2-putt and we'll have it and we'll come back tomorrow. And then it's like, I think I'll just beat him now. And it was like JJ Spawn's face over the top of it. I thought that was
Oh yeah,
very
play it
funny.
as it lies, hit it through the whole thing. No, that's not how it works, mate.
I'll just beat him now in one
Bang.
putt. Because you've seen the viewers, you know,
Yeah,
story
that
you
is
put
a
up.
cracking. That
Big
is
breaker. Because on the TV,
Oh, yeah.
it just looks like it's just a relatively straight putt.
a big old banana bender. It was massive.
Well, once
Amazing.
again, I've got the camera. We're filming. He's on the tee box. Snappy. He reloads a provisional, and I'm like watching. I'm like, he's over the putt. Old mate's about to hit, and then like as he's like made contact with the ball, I'm like, he's dropped the putt.
I've lost the ball nearly.
I wasn't concentrating
Oh,
on
he
filming,
just
man.
wasn't. I don't know if Jared Waitley was on SEN or whatever radio show he's on and was in the middle of a call and was obviously watching it.
So
and so they're talking about football and blah blah. Oh, JJ Spawn just sunk it. Just it's very funny.
How good is that golf is like that? Like I watched Richmond Football Club. They put up a story, and they basically had a camera at the front entrance of the training facility.
Yep.
And it was just like, you know, as you walk past, say hi or something along those lines. And they've got Ralph Smith walks in, and it says like say hi or whatever, and he puts his phone up and he goes, "Go Adam Scott." He's watching the golf.
yeah.
Like,
Brilliant. It was
very
brilliant.
just golf's across the community.
Yeah, it would have been nice to see Scotty win it, but just a tough way to finish. What do you go 9 over on the last day?
You would do that without doing much wrong. Like
Oh,
you
yeah,
just
God,
miss
yeah.
the green slightly, cabbage.
Did he fall off
double.
at the end?
Yeah,
So-
81.
Yeah.
80.
Oh,
9 over.
so with
9
like
over.
4 holes to go, he must have really gassed
Yeah.
it or something.
Yeah.
Okay, because we were
Anyway, that's enough for the US Open.
Yep.
JJ Spawn, well done, mate. Shout out to him. An exceptional round of golf.
Braden Becker just said definitely not.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's just a
Best putter I've ever
He's
seen
got a
too.
follow-up question. He's followed up.
You played Oakmont, have you, Braden? Have you?
He said,
Has he?
he said, what's his
Could have
low,
easily and way better than us.
what's his lowest score ever? What is it?
76.
Okay. He said if he hasn't ever broke par,
Don't need to. What's my best two-ball Ambrose score
two
ever?
more times
8
on
under.
tour length golf courses.
8 under is my best two-ball
I'm
Ambrose.
so happy with that question.
Well,
I'm going on. I know we're going under 100.
well, I actually, hold on a minute, Chopper. Hold on a minute. I shot with Mel Foster 7 under through 9 holes
Off the
runner.
Reds.
Pardon?
Off the Reds.
I don't care, mate.
Okay, how about this?
I'm
how about this?
colourblind, I
How about
don't
this for an idea? How about this for an idea? We'll do this as a video at some point. We're going to go to whatever course it is in Perth.
What's the hardest course in Perth?
The hardest
Cut?
The cut's exceptionally difficult
is that.
because, like, the cut
Well,
is.
yeah, it is.
What's the
it is-
highest rated,
Well, no,
hardest
hang on.
rated
The
course
cut,
in
the
Perth?
cut is probably as close as we're going to get to the Oakmont conditions, as in if you lose it in the rough, you're dead.
Okay, if we want to work off that, I shot 2 over on the front 9 at the cut.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Back
Off
tees.
the tips.
Back tee. We're going to do back tees, two-ball Ambrose. We'll shit 100 in.
And what do you, okay, well, we're going to beat 100 by a mile, but what do you think we'll shoot at the cut?
I reckon at the cut, I reckon it's it's in the 80s, low 80s.
This is disrespectful.
You're off your head.
Back tee, afternoon round, wind. I want everything. I want wind coming in sideways. I want
Yeah,
US
baby.
Open.
Give me, spray a hose in my face. I don't give a shit.
Put
We
a
are.
tree in your face.
Yeah.
Tickle my ear in my backswing, mate. I don't care.
Oh,
mate.
yeah, I'm happy to have air horns, vuvuzela. Bring a vuvuzela out on the course if
There
you
will
want.
be a 7 in front of that, and if it's not a 7, it'll be a 6.
Yeah, baby. And I'm happy with that. I think
Yeah.
we're definitely doing it. Anyway, we'll do that at some point.
Even
I played golf on the weekend, speaking of golf.
Little $20 bet.
Little $20 bet that I lost. We've obviously got the project player over here, Will, who is my older brother.
I haven't been keeping up with that.
So Will
thanks,
went on.
mate.
Well, he was
Sorry.
going. He was a podcast project. He went on honeymoon, come back, and now he's into golf and like he's loving it. And had a lesson. I saw the swing you sent through. Geez, it looked way better. We'll get to that. Anyway, I was teeing off at 11:24 at Royal Freo. Will was at 11:50, and I had I wiped the first. He birdied the first. Disappointing.
I messaged you to
let me know
let you
about
know
that. Yep.
what had just happened.
I went out in 12 points. Horrendous. Could not. Like my driver, I sent a message to the group at some point saying, "Hey Siri, how to stop a snap hook on the course?" And like I just literally any driver or hybrid that I hit just started and then just tailed off to the point where I just couldn't. I had to put it away. I then went on the back 9 and had 21 points. Like
in the rain too.
in the rain.
Will was
got
saying.
That's a
going.
big turnaround.
His gloves were soaked.
Yeah,
that was very good.
Well, I got going in the back 9, 21 points. So he was a couple of holes behind because there were a few groups between us and they were a bit slow. I was on 7, so we played the back 9 first. 7 is the hard par 4 coming to the hill. I'm green side just in front of the bunker for 2. Hit this beautiful 60-degree wedge flop shot that literally bounced, I'm not even kidding, 2 inches from the cup. I thought it slam dunked, finished a foot behind, tap in par. Will has seen me from the other green and hasn't obviously checked my score that it updated. And he's given me the double birds, and he's like, "Oh mate, I know that I'm 2 behind my handicap, and I know you've sucked." And I was like, "Actually, I'm on 29 points." He's like, "Oh, okay, now I got to turn it on a little bit." I then hit this pitching wedge on the 8th to about 10 foot, missed the birdie putt, tap in 3 or 2, and then for whatever reason on the 9th hole, I thought it was a good idea to bring the driver back
You
out.
idiot.
Instead of hitting an iron.
There's OB everywhere there.
I was like, I'm doing it.
Is the range OB?
Range is play on.
Is it?
But like OB left because
yeah,
you're
but you're not worried about
in the
right.
No,
You're-
you're in the gardening shed left. And I was like, I'm going to hit the gimme this thing. I'm going to rip it, and just smacked it left under a tree. Had to punch out, went up, and then I had 2 putts, 5-2. So I ended up on 33 points. And I was checking Will, and he was on like 27, then he was on 29, he was on 31. He needed a 5 or 2 on the last. Now, you say it was raining. I got in just before it started raining.
Oh, wow.
So he had 30 minutes of like torrential rain. And I was like, this is great. I know I'm going to win this. And then I saw him. Yep, he texted me saying, "What'd you have?" I said 33 points. He goes, "I'm 31, 10 off 9 now."
Oh, so he's going to get the 5 for 2 for a half.
Needs the 5 or 2 for a half, or
par wins.
Or par wins. No, sorry, he was 32 points. He was on, so he needed 5 or 2 for a win, or 6 or 1 for a half. Saw him get on the green. He was back. The front pin was front left. He was back right.
Oh, no.
I saw him line it up, hit the big long putt, and walked over to it and just like leant down, picked it in. So I was like, it obviously went to a half foot and tapped it in for a 5 or 2, and I had to buy him a beer. And then I also had to buy Kev one, which was devastating. And then we just sat there and talked shit about how bad Kev's going to go.
What did you shoot on the back 9 then for 21 points?
39.
Okay,
Very good. I was 3 over the back 9, I think.
It's good. I think any 9 with a 3 in front of it.
Yeah, it was great. And walking back out afterwards, Will, and we just went and played another 4 or 5 holes while it was still light. And walking back out the front, some guy, random bloke, walked past and goes, "That's Hamish Brochure from the swing of it."
Get out.
Not even
Hey,
kidding.
that's
I
good.
couldn't believe
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It was great.
Very
Did
good.
you pay your $10, whoever that was? Sure he did. I'm sure he's a patron.
I feel like, more people say about, it was always used to be like, oh, how's Chopper? And then it's like, oh, I love your videos, Joel. And now it's like, loving the podcast.
Yeah, loving the
it's
pod.
good.
Anyway, so I played 33 points, not great. But yeah, I just can't. Speaking of lessons, like, I'm not far off needing one because my driver is broken. I literally can't hit anything. If you line me up and say this ball needs to start on line and end on the right side of the fairway,
You can't even do it.
I'm done.
Can't see it.
I'm going to shit in my own hands because I cannot do it.
Well, yeah, that's, yesterday on the phone to Chopper, I was like, yeah, it's when we go to Brisbane, mate. Can we just have a bit of a lesson? I need something.
Yeah.
Because it is, I'm not there yet, but it is getting to the point. And this is one of the questions I wanted to ask is what, I'm almost at the point where I'm a bit over golf.
Please.
Like, not to the point where I'm like, I'm going to stop playing or anything, but I'm scared that it will get there. Yeah.
Because of the amount you're playing or how bad you're playing?
Because of how bad I'm playing.
Yeah,
I haven't had 36 points in like 4 months, I reckon.
Well, I played those
It's
3
creeping up on it,
rounds.
though.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting there.
I played the 3 rounds of Club Champs. That was kind of the last time I really played. And I think I shot, that was like 73, 72, 74, or something along those lines. So good, around my handicap. But after that, with the surgery, with everything, it's I'm just not playing good, and I'm a bit over it.
I go through this through winter. It always happens.
Okay.
The weather's not great. It's not as inviting.
Yeah.
It's harder. Ball
I'm-
goes shorter.
I'm desperate to get out there at any opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We play a lot. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
we're going to go play. There's 10 rounds in 5 days about
Yeah.
to come up. Like, and you'd get sick of golf. If you're not playing well during those 10 rounds, it's not going to be fun.
I'd do anything to be playing 10 rounds in 5 days.
So I've pulled my name out of Saturday golf. I've pulled my name out of Pennants.
Crazy.
Pennants for one, because I can't commit to the team, so I'm not going to.
That's fair. You don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want to take someone's spot that I could potentially take. There's no point.
Yep.
Saturday golf, I'm just kind of happy to steer away for the moment, just because of Karatha. Then we're going away, so yeah, I just kind of, I don't know. Hopefully, I play a couple of good games. I figure something out.
Well, you know what? The lesson might be the fix to it because, as Will said, he was contemplating giving the game away, and then he turned to you, his Lord and Saviour. How's
Very
it going?
keen. Well, if you have a look at, I think I sent video through. Is that going to be able to?
Oh, here we go. Rach is on there. We don't have Jaden today. Jaden's doing some stuff, so we got Rach. Rach can't do the videos. No, it's fine. Doesn't know how to do it. That's fair enough.
Well-
And I wouldn't either if it was my first time doing it. He looks. I sent it to him. You sent it through to us, and it looks a lot better.
It does, yeah.
Like he doesn't look like he's
Matt Wolf.
It doesn't look like Matt Wolf anymore.
Yeah,
have you
he's,
seen the video?
I would have, but
It would mean nothing to you because you weren't there for his journey.
But after looking at my swing, mate, any swing's good.
Fair.
There's probably like only 2 swings that are worse than mine.
Mine. Will's when
No,
he
you got a good.
You have a good swing.
Yeah, you.
Will's when he started. Will's when he started was shit.
Matt
But
Wolf, yeah.
when you finish the swing, I think even if you've got like a dirty, ugly backswing, as long as you can finish it well, hold your balance, and get that
Yeah.
club back around your head, I think you're looking okay. I don't. So yeah, I just have an ugly swing, and anything looks good to me.
he Will actually hits it too far. That was it was a weird thing to say, but he was hitting it too far. Like the difference between good and bad. Like he would hit a 7-iron that goes like 180 meters.
Is that it? Is that it? 180.
And then one would go like 135 based on ball striking
Yep.
and we had to rein it in because then there's a certain speed where you can't actually control what you're doing. So when we're trying to make a change, if it's so fast, he's almost hitting it and then turning around going, "Did I do it?" It's like, if you can't feel it, we need to slow it down so you can feel it. But yeah, where he's at now,
See,
dangerous.
I feel like if I was to ever have a lesson, I would be before I do anything. It's like I just want to walk in there and say to the bloke, whether it's you or not, probably not you because you would just tell me to shut up. But if it was another person, I'd say, "Mate, this is how I swing it. I swing it as hard as I physically can. Don't tell me to slow down. Just fix what I'm doing. Because I don't want to swing any slower.
You sound real fun to coach, I reckon.
Yeah, I'd just be like, hey, mate, just try and tweak a few things. But I'm not, like, I don't want to slow down. I still want to hit the ball.
You don't want that guy as a coach, though. That's a Band-Aid.
true.
That's a couple of Band-Aids on your way.
So if
2 months
would
later,
you tell me, you've seen my swing, would you tell me to slow down?
There'd have to be some proof to go behind it. Yeah, I need to convince you. Like, I need you to go right, left, right, left, right, left. And then
left.
left, make a change.
Left.
Right. Hey,
Here we go.
You like
Find a
that?
happy medium.
Yeah.
Hey, he taught me how to hit a draw yesterday.
Did you really?
Yep.
It was like an odd-looking draw, but it definitely, in the
definitely
air,
went
it
left to right, right to left.
Right to left.
Yeah. We all sort of went, was that it?
Yeah. Is there something wrong with that ball? Or like, what?
It was very floaty.
He's like, I reckon you caught that a bit heavy. And I was like, no, I didn't. As I'm like wiping the mud off my face, like, no, I don't think it was heavy, mate.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Jaden's come back. Has he?
No.
No, here we go. I feel like. Anyway,
okay.
you got something for us. Go.
Oh,
Roll
I got
Jaden's-
loads, mate. Honestly, I reckon I could see.
Oh, here we go. This is Will.
swing,
Look at
okay.
Will. If you're not on YouTube, get on YouTube. That's Will at the bottom.
Oh, is it?
You talk it through.
That's Matt
Yeah,
Wolf.
so Matt Wolf start. See where that club is, obviously over there. Ignore the noises that are coming through. And then this is the change backswing here.
Oh, wow.
So you can see how it's just on plane. And then this is what I was showing Will. I was basically showing him, look at all the movements from the way up and down and how the hell are you going to be that consistent. So watch when I keep replaying it.
Anybody that's not watching,
Yeah, so
Get
watch
on
it
YouTube.
up, around, like there's a lot going on
That's
there.
heaps
And
going
if you
there.
look at when
That's
I
a
cut,
curl. That's a curly whirly.
curly, it's a curly whirly. Now watch him now. Bang,
Oh yeah, that's
bang.
that's
It's
a Mars
one
bar.
plane, yeah.
It's a straight Mars bar or a Twix.
And he just hit like the same shot in the booth, same shot every time. We're like, mate, this is good. I just need to rein him in the pace. Big, strong Australian man.
As we said, for anyone who's Australian, it's about 183 centimeters and 115 kilos. And for anyone listening in America, it's 6'1" and about 280.
Yep. But yeah, he's dangerous. We're going to play some holes, and then I'm happy to send him free against you off the stick.
what's
the
he off?
big
What's
match.
his handicap?
12, I think. He's
No.
soft capped at 12.
Is it?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
he's soft capped at 12.
He's close, mate. And a couple more
Oh,
games.
yeah, and like I'm just saying it from I can't physically accept that I won't beat anyone. Like with the competitive nature I've got,
Do ya?
I just refuse to.
This is news to me.
Yeah.
I will beat anyone.
Yeah.
You put anyone I'm going against off the stick, probably not because people like you're better. But like, give me a handicap competition, I'm going to beat you. That's
what we wanna get.
That's my opinion. But I honestly, if you take the pumpkin off my head for a minute and think, I'm not good at golf at the moment. Like my driver is letting me down. I have some real deficiencies in my game, and if that's the improvement that he looks like he's made in 2 lessons, I'm in trouble.
If he if he beats you, when I say he's ready and we go out and he goes out for the game, if he beats you, you have to come see me for a lesson.
All right, done. I'll probably come see you for a lesson if I lose anyway, because I wouldn't mind actually tuning up the band a little bit.
Last
Anyway,
week,
enough about Will. What do you got for us?
last week when you spoke about old Froey that got absolutely pipped.
Oh, poor bastard. Yep.
Surprised that literally happened to me. That was like I was like
You had 44 points. You broke the course
it was
record.
very similar to me.
You broke the course record. And had a lady off 45 have 51 points.
It was a very similar story.
Okay, here we go.
It got ripped out of my hands. It was mine for the taking, and it got taken out of my hands by a lady that played off the red tees. Okay, so in Karatha, having a chat with the club captain, speaking about exactly about this. So, you know, talking about the DT comps and the way it goes about it. So there's a little part in here that I feel is the difference. Now, I don't think this is the first golf course to do it. Like Kwinana Golf Club they're looking at introducing this. It's been proposed.
Mm-hmm.
You can tee off whatever marker you want for the day.
Yep.
Right? So you can select, I want to be off the fronts, and your handicap is adjusted and you play off the fronts.
Yep.
But the competition is off a set tee.
Ah.
So club champs, or it's not club champs, stroke round, monthly mug at Kwinana is off the tips. Now you can play off the reds, or the
But you just
front,
can't be in the monthly
but you
mugs.
will not win the monthly mug.
That's probably the best way to do it.
I like that a lot.
To me, that just makes the most sense. Now you can still win vouchers for like nearest to
What
pins and that
about
sort of stuff, but
female golf? Does that...
they can tee off the blacks.
Yeah, but isn't it... Are they in the monthly mugs off the reds?
I lost the monthly mug to a female off the reds.
That's their
That's
tee
their
box.
tee.
Yeah, I get that.
You want little 16-year-old Kirsten who's played 1 round of golf in her life to walk off to the back and tee off with you off the tips?
But the handicap's adjusted.
Oh, what? She's playing off 100?
Then she gets 100 shots.
Yeah, but... that seems like you are just beaten the poor girl into a pulp.
Why assume it's a female?
We're talking about a female here. You just said you got beaten by a girl
all
off
the
the
handicaps.
red.
I'm not in this conversation right now.
But all the handicap's adjusted. It's all adjusted. So say the following Saturday, it's a red tee comp. We all can tee off the reds, but I can choose to. I don't want to tee off the fronts. I'm going to tee off the blues. But
You're
then
not in the
I
comp
don't win the competition. To me, that makes the most sense.
How many ladies are playing on a Saturday?
At Kwinana,
Yeah.
it couldn't be more than a dozen.
Because at Pinjarra, ladies had their own comp, blokes had their own comp on a Saturday.
We don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's just the simplest way to get around it.
Yeah.
But no, so Monthly Mug was won by lady off the reds. Exactly the same scenario as Rory, I guess. But I just thought that
Except you didn't break the course record.
I was close. Shot 4 over.
That's pretty good.
It's a
a very
PB.
good round.
Yeah,
Good
it's a
round.
great day.
PB. Just 4 bogeys.
Wow,
Very solid.
that's incredible.
Boring golf, that.
Yeah,
I'd take it.
I say it all the time, and it's like, well, that's golf. If I could just hit a fairway and just hit a green, like I'll play really good golf.
Oh. And if I was 6'6" and sponsored by Nike, you can dunk the ball, I'd be Michael Jordan.
If I had wheels, I'd be a wagon. Mate, I've got 1,000 things we could talk about. What do you want to talk about?
What can we talk about?
I've got something
You go for
that we
it.
haven't really actually discussed, which I'm amazed we haven't. So obviously the US Open, everyone's back.
Yep.
Live and everyone's back. How good is that?
Oh,
and I miss
yeah.
it. I miss it so much.
All the stars aligning to play against each other.
What are your thoughts on the Live stuff? Now that they've had a good 2, 3, 4 years in it of it, like what's your thoughts about the whole thing? Do you like it? Good, bad? I got a couple of views.
So I think for anyone actually listening, and it's like, oh, I hate Live. Do you know what Live is? Like, it's a team format. You do all this, that, the other. Like, can you name 3 teams?
Rippers,
Yeah, I probably could.
goats. No, not goats. No, see,
Crushers. Like,
Crushers,
this, see,
yeah, sorry.
but like a lot of people listening would be like, oh, I can't name 3 teams. And like when I first started watching it, I was like, oh, what the hell's going on here? Then you realise I don't think it's a bad idea. I like the idea, but I like the crossover when you get events like this and you just see everyone together. You want to see, as a golf fan, you want to see the best players playing against the best players.
Yep.
And there's too many of the best players that aren't playing against each other because they're split.
Hate it. Absolutely hate it. And then I heard an argument the other day that was, well, Scotty Scheffler's just so dominant because look at the time that he's become successful. Not arguing that he's the number 1 golfer in the world, but you look at the fields that he's playing against and immediately you could probably pull 10 of the world's best golfers.
Yeah, back into the field.
Yeah. So it was just like almost a conspiracy theory, like, but there's credit behind it.
hard thing for us, like for Australians, it's the first time a big golf tournament has been held with those players. Otherwise, they ain't rocking up. So we could argue that it's great for us because it's the only time it's going to happen because they don't come over here. The US PGA has basically killed Australian golf. Like the Australian Masters are no longer around because of it couldn't get the sponsorship because they couldn't get the big players. They couldn't afford the big players to come over.
Yep.
Like even the Open, like it's the end of the season where they probably don't want to play golf anymore, and
they would have had to have paid Rory an arm and a leg to come out here.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a hard one. Like I mean, for Australians, that's why it went so well because we're gagging for
Good golfers.
good golfers, and I'm surprised they don't do 2 events here. Why don't you just do another one in Melbourne the week after? It would go nuts as well.
If you had one of those at you wouldn't do it because of the rowdy nature of it. You wouldn't probably get away with it at a Royal Melbourne or a Kingston Heath or somewhere like that. But I think if you went to a Huntingdale or a
So many
Metro,
venues could host that.
It'd go off.
Yeah.
But as well, I feel like Adelaide is so huge now because we just get it once a year.
And it's also tied in together around. It's got all of that stuff.
Yeah.
They tee it up perfectly well.
But if it happened 4 times a year, it's never going to be. Well, it probably still would be, but I don't think it's as a glorified event. It's just like, oh, the golf's on, cool, let's just go to it. Not, it's only here for 1 weekend of the year.
It would be amazing if it was like the week before the Aussie Open and then all those players went
and
boom,
played
we're
over
playing
there.
Aussie Open as well, and then you're like, wow.
See, now we're talking.
Yeah.
That's where you start getting things moving.
And then the week after is like the PGA, and like they're bang bang, like that's the agreement. If you want to play in Australia and you're going to do, you get
You're
these
here for a
players.
month,
You're here
and
for a month.
we're gonna
and
go,
you get 2
tournament,
events plus these
tournament.
players are going to play here. Bang bang bang.
Yep.
Aussie Open is worth
Adelaide
millions.
to Melbourne to Queensland.
Yeah.
Do you watch much DP World Tour?
Only when, not really. I
Like
watched
the-
a couple of
the-
the big ones,
the
the Scottish
Rolex
Open and
events
stuff.
or whatever,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll watch a few of them, but not. And I'm following them on Instagram, so I see all the highlights and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
But I don't sit there and I don't really watch.
I think with the time difference, I think I probably watch 80% DP World, 20% PGA. Yeah.
I feel like the DP's on a lot at golf clubs when you go in.
Yeah.
And it's like you're just sitting there, you're having a beer after the round, there's something on there. It's like time difference works that it's, if you're playing on a Thursday or Friday, it's the DP World Tour that's on.
Yeah. Like we'll go, I'll be at the father-in-law's, say on a Friday or a Saturday night or whatever.
Yep.
Have dinner, sit down, 7 o'clock, DP World Tour. It's on. You know, we're watching them. They're at the.
I feel bad for them because they just feel like they're just getting these players to a level and then they go, see you later.
See you later.
See you
Yeah,
later.
PGA.
It's just like,
It's just,
okay.
like the quick hand pass on to the bigger league.
Yeah, exactly.
Money, isn't it?
Yeah.
I always like it when then Europe beat America in the Ryder Cup.
100%.
So that you get...
That's coming up soon.
Yeah, that is. When is it?
I went to Google that. Actually, what you keep talking, I'll do it. What is it?
Ryder Cup. It's in America this year, isn't it? Yeah.
Did you see Rory? I just saw it like today where he was reading a statement and it was something about the Ryder Cup and he was like, it feels like an exhibition week. I don't think I'll get too involved with it, fist pumping and doing anything silly like that. And then he was like, who said that? It was Rory in 2009.
Really?
And he didn't realise he said that.
Oh, wow.
Since then, the Ryder Cup means to him now.
That would have been his first
First
one.
year,
and it's
yeah.
like,
Oh, it was so good. The fact he was laughing like, who said that? Like, me?
said that? Yeah, no, he couldn't have been.
25th to the 28th of September.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that's when I'll get up. I'll get up and watch the start of that. It's in the States, isn't it?
I'll be on footy trip.
Well, it's 12 hours.
I'll be on footy trip for that.
It's exactly 12 hours at the moment, or it
it's
might be
brilliant.
changed over. So it'll be,
Because it runs all day, though, it would be
you
like the
can-
US Open. It would probably start at 9 o'clock our time.
yeah.
But the rowdy US crowds, that's going to be hard to listen to.
I'm very keen for that. I put a story up on my Instagram yesterday asking for the best excuses you've ever heard on a golf course.
Okay.
It can be anything, any excuse at all. Off the top of your heads, can you think of any?
Any excuses? I had a bloke hit a snap hook off the first, so he played Cottesloe. He teed off on 10 and snap hooked it into the trees and said, like, got in his cart to drive and he goes, my hammy's no good. Turned around and drove off. That was him.
Really? Done.
I hit a poor first tee shot. It was raining in Cove and he goes, the hammy's no good, boys. And just gave away.
Wow.
And that was him done. I actually think he might have had a torn hamstring, but
Did you see the bloke that did his hammy tossing the
tossing
coin?
the coin. That was pretty funny.
Very funny.
Yeah.
You got any good excuses that you've heard?
I got a flu shot this afternoon. My shoulder's a bit sore. A bit worried about actually doing the pod this afternoon, but I
you
don't know
okay?
how we got. Yeah.
You get through it?
Yeah, I
All right.
reckon I
Yeah.
would.
Good man. Good man.
But my golf swing, I feel like, that could be
I've needed to, like, not an excuse, but like I've desperately needed to go to the toilet.
Yeah.
And it's like not one. I mean, yeah, you can piss.
I've heard.
As a bloke, you can get away with urinating on a tree. Sweet. It's very unsavory to just drop the dacks and shit up against a tree.
I have two stories that I will not say on this podcast, but they are pearlers, man. Absolute. Not mine.
yourself?
No, not me.
course.
No.
Can we do it for the patron?
We
next
probably
month?
could, man.
next
but
month?
to be, well, I definitely wouldn't
Don't
say
name any
names.
names.
Yeah, I wouldn't say any names, but both these stories, man, are like textbook. They're like, if I said them out loud, they'd be like the viral.
My
Very
old
funny,
man. My old man has a spare pair of jocks in his bag just in case.
Does he?
Yeah, okay.
He's got loose bowels at the best of times though.
No, I like your old man. He loves our humour.
Yeah, he
He's
does,
a big
he
fan
does.
of the channel.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, fan, good on him, mate. What
anyway,
a legend.
go for it.
So
Oh, yeah, that's a lot of
Yeah, so there's
oh
a
my
lot.
God.
I did want to like go through them and like pick the good ones
best
and just like rattle them off as quick as I can. But just give me like 40 seconds and I'll try and rattle through some. I'll go through it. Ready?
Yep.
I play better drunk. I play shit when I'm sober. Body is too stiff to play when I'm cold. Karatha got me. I've got new glasses, so I'm seeing the ball too well.
Yep, that's
I get that all the time. New glasses can't adjust.
Got a new baby, kept me up all night. It was the wind. I haven't had a lesson yet. Too much humidity. Fly lie in brackets from the fairway. Played with Koshi. It's like, what? I need to. I'm not going to say that.
was it shit?
That's a block. It was just a slice. Yeah. Here we go. Hamish today. I think I've shit myself in my downswing.
Yeah, that happens. That can happen to a man.
Snacks, right?
Yeah, that was Westy.
Okay. Yep. I got bit by a spider and have a swollen hand.
That happens.
My ass is sweaty.
Oh, that, yeah.
Right in my backswing. My watch got a notification in my backswing. No warm up. I'm not going to say that one.
Yeah.
Lost their power band.
Yeah, actually, we're all, well, we've all,
That's my handicap tracker. He's got a bit of humour in him.
we've all,
Speaking of the power band,
speaking of power bands, how do you feel? Balanced? That's good, actually. I like that. A few excuses.
Yeah.
Anyway, you don't have the excuse of not having a power band anymore because you've got one.
Yeah, but you know what? It's not the proper one.
I did as soon as I think they're Chinese.
They feel cheap, mate. The one that I wear, it's got like an actual magnet in it. Like
I did say as soon as I unbox these that I feel like they're stickers.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, mate. I've gone through 1/8 of the list of excuses. There's some absolute. Just had a lesson by Matty Heath. Don't know who that is.
Oh, I met him.
It's too quiet.
Played with a couple of guys actually that have had some lessons from you on the weekend.
Really? Yeah, I get a lot from Raw Freo.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Anyway.
And just one more. T markers were pointing out that way.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
I hear that one a fair bit.
The circular T markers.
Yeah.
They were pointing out that way.
Yeah, excuses. They're very funny. I just thought I'd have a bit of a laugh about that.
What if you're listening on Spotify, you won't know what I'm about to say, but if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see that there's something behind you, Joel, that is different.
Yes.
What the hell's that? Because
So
that actually looks pretty cool.
yeah, so Lynx Lockers sent out one of these, mate. So yeah, if you are watching on YouTube, you can see it's got like the glass panel at the front, and you put your. I did a reel on my Instagram about it. I guess that's another way you can see it, but. Yeah, it's got light in there. You chuck your bags in there. It's got a couple of shelves up the top. It's actually really good.
For your golf balls, etc.
Yeah. Big fan. They do lots of different ones.
Lynx lockers.
Lynx Lockers, yep. So there's that one, and then I got a mahogany one. Yeah, a rich dark mahogany. Black door, dark brown.
I wanted that one, and then me wife said no. So we agreed that
Compromised
we'd
to
do
what
what she
she
wanted.
wanted,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
And that's the smart play.
That is the smart play. So what have you got? No, you don't.
Mine is very similar. White frame, wood door. And
That's nice.
Yeah, and I keep
It's
my
no
golf
mahogany.
clubs. No, it's not.
Hey, the mahogany.
It's good.
class.
I'm-
It's no mahogany.
Yeah.
We'll get you one.
Yeah, I keep my golf clubs at work, but when I bring them home, I just put them randomly anywhere. And the fact that was there, I was like, oh, this is actually very good. Straight into there, bang,
Yeah.
golf balls, gloves, ready to go.
Yeah, see, I like that. I like that a lot. Is there a spot for your hats? We got new hats.
Yeah,
the
there's a
top.
little shelf up the top there, mate.
What have I got? I got my tinnies and tees hat. This is an exceptionally good hat, actually. I quite like this. The boys sent it through. I think I've got a swing video from them as well that we can't see now because Rach is on the computer, but we'll get that up later on. Don't worry about it.
And I'm wearing a Sunny Golf Club hat.
That's nice too.
Yeah, a bit of a trendy one. I don't mind this one.
Yeah, we've got.
I've got the pink and the blue this afternoon.
Yeah,
Nice hat, mate.
you've got a few. Yeah, I mean, if you'd like to send us some stuff, send us some stuff. Hit me up. Hit us up. I like wearing stuff.
I
I
play
love
golf.
how ruthless you are with that stuff as well.
just-
Like,
yeah.
just send us stuff, pushing for the patrons. Did I say, yeah, up in Karratha, there's loads of people in Karratha that are like patrons.
And you know what the good thing is? Like, because we're going to be already, I think we've got I've been given about 10 hats through this podcast. We could, if you're a patron, every now and again we might do a little raffle and send out some hats.
We could start. So one thing
$10 a month, and you might get the chance to win. Not this one because I like this one. But you could win a hat.
Yeah, that's actually
Definitely
a really
win
good
a hat.
idea because
It's a great
I
idea.
stupidly put up
Send me some hats.
on my socials when I first started doing this. If you want me to wear your hat in one of my videos, just send it to Karratha Golf Club.
And you had 100 cent there.
Yeah, that was a
Heaps
bit
of
of a
it,
mistake.
yeah,
And because that video is still up, so when people go
What
through
you
the
should
back
do
catalogue-
is, when we do our John Daly Classic video, you'll obviously wear that hat, but we should wear a different hat every hole.
Big fan. Big fan.
A
of
new
that.
hat.
Yeah. I love that.
Bring a little
sort of stuff.
carry bag just full of hats.
If anyone does nice tracky pants, I could go those. Thanks.
Love a pair of tracky pants.
No, I think you got to keep with the dark blue that you got there. Mate, so bad luck.
that's fair enough.
I played on Monday,
Oh yeah, how'd you go?
so we played Wembley. Filmed at Wembley. It'll come out probably next week.
Which course?
Old course.
I like the
And I
old
took out the putter. This was the test run before we go to Queensland. The
So the
zero
new-
torque, tailor-made,
tailor-made lab style.
can't miss. Apparently, putter.
Okay, sounds like you missed.
We said it on the first tee. Like this could be the worst marketing strategy from
Ever.
TaylorMade to give me a putter to go test it out. But I
They
played
should,
all
give
right.
it, they should give me a putter because I'm on lights out at the moment.
I like the look of it, of the tailor-made
Not as
putter.
extreme as the
lab?
Lab, yeah.
Do they do different colours, or is it just the blue one?
Different lengths.
So how'd you, without giving it away, because obviously everyone will go and watch the video at Ron Chopper's YouTube page, but how did you go?
Once again, another very emotional game of golf. There's signs that I could probably make the cut on the PGA Tour, and then there's signs that I wouldn't win. At the start, the hooks I was hitting.
You reckon you'd make the PGA?
With what I was doing at the start,
You reckon
if
you'd
I could
make a
keep
cut?
that up, if I could play like that, the whole 18, winning the thing.
Becca said that actually in the thing, Becca did.
I should check if JJ's got back to me.
Becca did say,
Well, what's he said?
Chops could have a chance if he did the 12 months.
There you go. The way I started, first 4 holes, you'd back me in. Next, after that, you would say I wouldn't win a voucher on a Saturday comp.
Yeah, okay. I'm still so confident we'd go under 100 as an Ambrose.
He did actually say maybe only once in a whole year.
Yep.
That's all I need, and I'd be playing for
5 million in the bank.
5 million in the bank and playing. Anyway, what else have you got for us?
Becca's.
What's Becca got
When
for
I
me?
do this, when this video comes out, honestly, you should watch it. Becca is one of the nicest blokes with one of the nicest swings. He hit like a 380-metre drive. Now, wind was helping.
Don't say that.
But he hit a 380-metre drive.
Can't tell that on the
Actually, during the comp, it was a 386-metre hole, and I can't remember his name, fella from Queensland. He drove the green to like 15 foot. Massive. On a par 5.
Sorry. Speaking of driving the green, I know we've already skipped over the US Open. That drive from Spawn on 17, with like the weight of the world on his shoulders and just laced this thing that nearly went in for an albatross.
I got to watch. I was too busy working.
Oh my God. Do yourself a favour and watch
we
like the
missed
last
out.
5 or 6 holes.
Yeah. Okay.
This was, oh my God, like the drivable par 4, and he's 1 shot or 2 shots off the pace. I think Rob McIntyre had carded a +1 for the tournament. And Spawn's just stepped up and just drilled this thing in the middle of like straight at the flag, runs just past the cup, misses his eagle putt, taps in birdie.
Different breed.
But it
Those
was like,
people. Different
I couldn't
breed.
believe. Anyway,
Different breed.
watch that if you haven't already. Great hole.
Do we have emails or anything?
I'm not sure about the emails. So I still haven't got. I need to actually. Jaden's been busy. I've been busy. I haven't got the emails on my phone yet.
Oh, okay.
But I have got. You have. I think we've got a couple of fines, audible fines this week. So you keep going. You've got some. You do homework here.
Well, how much time we got?
We got about 10 minutes. I reckon.
We got 10 minutes? Okay, cool. Well, this would be, I think we already know the answer to this. Do you reckon you play better when you've got better golfers in your group?
Yes, definitely.
I think that there's a handicap where that switches.
Yeah, I agree.
So if you're like off a 15 handicap and you're playing with like a couple of 3 or 4 markers, I think you'll play worse because the amount of times, I remember when I was, say, around that 16 mark, and if I played with someone in the singles, I was intimidated.
Yeah.
I started thinking, I'm not good enough to play with these people.
You need like one good player and then the rest around where you're at.
Yeah.
Because if you had 3 good players and then you're this odd one out, you'd feel like a liability. I
Yeah.
reckon.
The alternative to what you're saying though, on the flip side, not the flip side, but the extreme end of that is if you get someone off like +4 or 5, like when I've played with my mates that are good. So I've played with Min before, played with Ryan Ruffles a number of times. They're so good that you're not comparing. You don't have any comparison, but it's like they'll give little tips along the way. That it's like maybe a guy off 3 or 4 isn't confident enough to be like maybe do this or maybe try this.
Yeah.
Whereas he's like, I know what I'm doing, and that will help.
Yeah.
So you shave a few shots off just by listening to them as you go along.
So I know you can look at Pep's scorecards and you can basically
Tell who
see
he's
who he's
played
played
with.
with. Yeah. And you like, I think he played a game on the weekend playing with Hilly, our mate Hilly. And Hilly's off 1, I think. And you could just see Pep's score was like fantastic. I think he shot 2 over for the front 9. It's like,
Just trying to stay with him.
Playing
Yeah, I think
conducive,
so, yeah.
conducive golf.
I think if you know them, if it's a perfect stranger off like a scratch handicap, or three guys off scratch, you're off 15.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be nervous.
You're in trouble, yeah.
the best golf I've played.
And they don't care. That's
they don't.
just so you know, if you're worried about playing with if they're a decent person, they don't care.
Yeah.
They would, if they're a decent person, they'd try and help you out, and they would be backing in if you make a couple of pars and stuff like that.
Mate, get around.
That was,
Yeah, I
sorry,
agree.
that was actually the point I was meant to be making is, yeah, as a higher handicapper, you should never, ever feel intimidated to go, ever. And that was even the same with getting into golf. I thought when you go to a golf course as a non-golfer, I'd only ever played like with my mates socially, like mucking around. Signing up at a golf club and playing in a competition, I just assumed everyone was like a scratch golfer. They're not. We're all shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I feel like saying, come and stand here on the first tee and watch some tee shots. And I reckon
Yeah.
within half an hour, you're like, oh, I could be a member here.
Yeah,
That's what I wasn't worried about.
Yeah.
That's one of the great things about COD, having a drink before you go out and play and watching everyone tee off the first.
Nearly got hit in the putting green last week.
Did you really? On the putting green?
from which hole?
The
9.
first.
Oh, 1?
That's 90. That's a 90 degree.
Yep. Bop, up. Boom.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
gotcha.
Yep. Bit of Raz.
Yeah, so that's I agree.
Hybrid.
Don't get intimidated. That's I should almost put that in the Bible. But yeah, once again, if you've got
I
the golf
think
ball,
that should be in the Bible.
Yeah.
There we go. I've had my input. I'm third into this.
Oh, yeah.
Have you got any?
Just your face on the front
anything else?
cover.
I will read actually an excerpt from the Bible, but you go first.
Well, I don't know. I was going to ask, do you reckon, just say long answer, short answer, Rick Shields.
Oh yeah, wow. That
Well,
maybe I reckon we tease that for next episode.
Okay.
What it's like to play with Rick Shields.
Well, yeah, I want to ask you I want to ask you about it as someone that was there, but I'm very aware that you get asked about that a lot. So I feel like I might just drop a couple of questions about
Well,
the whole Rick
next week we're not here.
Yeah, but I reckon we'll get it done. We'll get that done.
Okay.
Are you guys not here next week? I'm solo next week.
Surely we can, because it is 2 hours difference in Queensland at the moment. Yeah. Surely if it's 6 o'clock there, it's 4 o'clock here. At 6 o'clock,
We'll sit at the balcony at a club and grab a couple of pints.
We'll have the mics with us. We can jump on a Zoom chat and surely we can have a chat.
Right, yeah, we'll figure that out next week.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Actually, I do have an announcement.
Oh boy.
Joel and I have decided to run a Choppers Cup at the end of the year.
Yep.
It's going to be a 2-ball Ambrose, and we're looking to do it at Karratha.
That's sensational.
So we want it to be something you've never played in. So when we talk about it's going to be an Ambrose comp, the golf is 14% of the day. We want sponsors on holes where you're having a drink, and then next hole you're getting your hair cut.
I'll do that.
Then the next hole you're jumping on a bronking bull, whatever you do there.
Go to the next one. There's burgers being cooked for you.
Yep.
It's just an all-out event where it's basically like you're going to like the Perth show, Royal Perth show.
Beautiful.
At Karratha.
And you're playing golf.
And unfortunately, everyone's playing for second because me and Joel will be teeing it up.
Yeah, we're going to be a
not gonna
2-ball
win.
Ambrose team.
Yeah. So you're not going to win.
I've already marked the scorecard.
I think you could go with Gravy if you like to be in a team.
Yep. I never met Gravy.
Going to be filmed. We'll get it filmed. Maybe the event will be filmed.
Yep.
But it's going to be all out. So I think this is the first time we've kind of announced it. We've spoken about it.
Yep.
It's still very early days. Got to get a couple of things to align. Golf carts, dates.
Yep.
All
Charity
that
will
sort
be
of business.
involved. We'll figure out what charity we're going to get involved as well.
I like that a lot, and I like you had me at burgers and beers
And haircut.
and haircuts.
Yeah, so it's
I like that.
we went to the Mick Fanning Charity Golf Day last year, and that is an event. That would be the best one in the world. Now, we're not trying to beat that,
A
but
bit like our podcast.
yes, number one in the world. But if we could be something around 60% of what that was like, this would be the best golf event that's ever happened in Western Australia.
Wow.
Yep.
Jesus. All right.
You heard it first. And I wasn't
backed
here, or I
yourself
didn't
in.
even follow golf back then.
And
but
we'll
was it
do a
Heineken
live
Classic or something?
podcast.
We'll beat that.
We'll do a live podcast beforehand, or maybe
It's
after
got to
when
be,
we're pissed.
yeah, we'll be responsible adults. But yeah, I reckon we do a podcast or do even like imagine do a live show after that. That's probably when it would happen.
Anyway,
I like
We're
it.
thinking something around October.
yep, that can work for me.
Yep.
I'll make that work. What have you got? Anything else?
I want to finish with a bit of butcher chat.
Yeah. So we're not.
So you go. Yeah.
Yeah, we will finish with butcher chat because heaps of people. It's one of
It's
my.
good,
It's
man.
one of the most.
And like I'm more confident about talking about that than golf. So like I'm more than happy to talk about butcher stuff.
All right, pick a number between. So last week on the Golfer's Bible, we ran through book 1.
Let him pick one. Okay. I'll
Yeah.
get a couple.
So we went through book 1. There is 11 books. Pick a number between 2 and 11.
2 and 11. It's got to be number 7.
Got to be number 7. Yep. Let's have a look. Bunkers. Perfect.
You set me up. I bet you it's not number 7. Is
number
it?
7. Book 7.
It is.
Oh, okay.
There you
yeah,
go.
yeah.
So I'm not sure if you listened to the first one, but it's the Golfer's Bible. There's obviously books. Book 7, Bunkers. Poor bunker etiquette can really get people's knickers in a twist. Knowing how to navigate these sandy adventures will ensure a smooth holiday to the beach. Public course, Chapter 1. Enter at the lowest point of the bunker. You can't ground your club in the bunker. Rake after yourself. 3. You actually can ground your club on one. If you're tripping and falling, you can hold yourself up. That's a thing that I didn't know until.
You can remove little things out of the bunker too.
Chapter 2, private. Enter at the lowest point of the bunker. You can't ground your club in the bunker. Rake up after yourself and leave the bunker in a better state than you found it.
Very good.
There you go. That's book
Perfect.
7, Bunkers. Done.
Oh, probably something about where you leave the rake.
I was thinking
That
that, but
changes
that's
everywhere you go.
Every golf club's different, so I don't think you can say a
I think
generic.
it's a
Follow
hard
the
thing.
rake placement rules.
Put the rake. Oh,
Basically, leave the rake where you found it.
Yeah,
would
but
be
then
the
if
one.
it's-
But if someone's put it in the
Yeah.
wrong spot, then you look like you're in trouble. So I haven't. As we said earlier, this is going to be tweaked because that I'm not sure about that.
Yep.
Anyway, Rach, do we have fines? Apparently, not fines, but audio submissions. Right, let's. Get your headphones in. I'm not sure we're going to have time to listen to all these. We'll listen to. Well, obviously, listen to the first one, maybe 2. I'll see how we go. Wait 2 seconds, Rach, while Joel puts his headphones in.
I'm in.
We're in. Let's go.
Hey guys, my name's Terry. I'm a member at lucky to be a member at Mount Lawley, and agree with everything you guys have said recently about the course upgrade. Interesting thing, I started playing senior pennants, which was a bit of fun, 4-ball, better ball, and playing in pairs. Just interested to see what you guys would think about this. One of our guys actually got a hole-in-one playing at Mount Lawley on the senior pennants, but that doesn't go on the honour board. Interesting, huh? What do you think?
That
What?
counts. That counts.
Firstly, Terry, thanks for listening and reaching out.
Yeah.
That counts.
That counts.
Why on earth would that not go on the
Is
honour
he a
board?
member?
Terry?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he was, yeah.
Yeah, but
So
and if he's
No,
he's
the guy
playing-
that had the guy that's had the hole in one.
you can't play senior pennants.
Oh, it doesn't matter. That counts.
Yeah, you're definitely on the honour board.
Was it, unless it was off the yellow markers or something, it wasn't. He played off the Ben's tees, bang, in, hole-in-one during a...
An event.
Event.
That's definitely a hole-in-one.
I'm saying no
Why?
because I don't think it's not a competition.
Senior
It's a
pennants.
different. Yeah, it's a different. They're just the host club of an external
A
event.
hole-in-one is hitting the ball once and it goes in the hole.
Well, what happens if someone has a hole in one during a pro-am? Would that go on the board?
Yeah,
I'd say so.
yeah.
Put your life on it?
Oh, I'll back myself in. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But if Rory McIlroy comes to Royal Melbourne in November and hits a hole-in-one, does he go on the honour board in there? He's not a member, but it's just a competition.
No, I don't think you have to be a member, but I think it's because it's not in the competition.
But it's a senior pennants competition.
Like
Played
it's a
at the golf
sanction.
course.
It's like a Golf WA
Event.
It's not like him and his mate played casually. Then you're like, no, that's not. in
Terry,
comp.
I'll come on as your member guest with a little bit of a yellow. I'll just go in there with the gold and I'll let you in there.
Yep.
For you. I won't do that because I'll get in trouble. But I think I'd request a formal inquiry. Thank you, Butcher Chat. Thank you for that, Terry. Golfers Bible. That was so. Before we finish, we will finish with Butcher Chat. Yeah. I would just like to push everyone. Again, a final bit of housekeeping. There was a little bit of dust that fell from the fan as we were going, so I'm just going to sweep that out again. The final bit of housekeeping.
Yeah, well done.
YouTube, the swing of it. Jump on there, subscribe. If you're listening to this and you're like, oh, geez, I wish I could have seen Will swing, you can. Or I wish I could have seen the linked lockers. Is that what they're called?
Links lockers, yeah.
Links lockers. I wish I could have seen that. Well, you can. Go on YouTube, the swing of it. Subscribe there. We're getting to 5,000. We're doing the John Daly Classic. Jump on our website and sign up as a patron. We're going to start giving away hats. I've
doing it.
I've decided that every once a month or once a fortnight, I'm still undecided. We're going to be giving away a hat or two. So that'll come out soon. We're getting some sponsors on board that will get access. The patrons will have access to some of that stuff. So it's $10 a month, easy as you like. Throw that in there. Throw your keys in the fishbowl and become a swinger. And then listen to us on Spotify. Listen to us on. Tell your mum, tell your dad, tell your sister, tell your friend. Whoever plays golf, doesn't play golf, you hate golf, you want to get into golf, we're the spot. The best growing podcast
That
in
is
the world.
a massive way about spreading the podcast. Is literally
tell your
just
friends.
tell your friends.
Yep.
A podcast I listen to. He says that. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell people who you're ambivalent to.
Ambivalent to.
I don't even know what that word means, but it's fine.
It just means someone who you like. That person I walk past on the street.
Just
I'm
tell
ambivalent.
them,
I don't know who
listen
you
to
are.
The swing of it. Yeah.
The swing of it. What? Anyway, let's finish with what everyone
Did we ask
comes
someone
to.
did we ask someone to put something in the comments? Did we say that at the
Oh,
start?
yeah, we did. What
Yeah.
was that about?
What
About
was
you both not breaking 100.
Oh, yeah.
It'll
Okay,
be
so-
flooded. It'll be
Oh,
flooded.
that's
It'll be-
right.
it'll be
yeah,
flooded
and I'm just
with-
going to cop more hate.
It'll be flooded with easy. You guys will do it. Just
You're
the
on
way-
the fence.
It'll be just the same way as the listeners supported me making a cut last
Zero.
week. They
I
all
think there was
it was a flood of support, which I thank you all for. I really thank everyone for getting around me and saying that. Of course, I had some people message in saying you'd make 4 or 5. You'd even make the cut of a Masters. That's what they said.
That's great,
Anyway,
mate.
I'll have to find those somewhere in the comments.
So we're
me
signing
on
off.
my burner account.
Finish with a bit of butcher chat.
Yeah, this is what
Okay.
everyone
I'm hungry. Let's go.
Right, so this will get you hungry. So it's winter, and everyone does a Sunday roast. Now, Sunday roast can go through summer, winter, whatever, but I'm loving the roast at the moment. And because I'm the butcher chef in the family, so every time I go to the in-laws, it's up to me to cook the roast, and I always go roast beef. Go to your local butcher and go and get blade roast. Now, the blade actually sits right next to the oyster blade, so there's probably a reason why. But the blade, it's one of the cheaper cuts. So if you cook it right and you slice it properly, it's coming up a treat. I've wrote a couple of things down because I didn't want to jump on, right? So I work on 200 grams of meat per person at raw, but you always go more because you want leftovers.
Obviously.
So I always go about 250, 300 grams per person. Preheat it to 180, the oven. While it's heating up, oil, salt, pepper. Get that in there.
Massage it in there, yeah.
Another crucial thing, when you're at the butcher, if you don't know which way to slice, so you always slice against a grain, get the butcher to cut the meat of which way you'll need to slice it. So you'll have your roast, and there'll just be like some cuts in the top.
Butchers will do anything for you.
Mate, we are the best.
They will
Honestly,
do anything.
I've never met a bad butcher in my life. So you chuck it in there, and you roughly work on an hour per kilo of cooking at 180. So if it's 2 kilos, you're cooking for 2 hours.
Checks out.
But take it out half an hour before it's supposed to be done, and put a thermometer in there. Don't guess. No guesswork.
Yep.
We're past the stage of guesswork. Use a thermometer. Go to Bunnings. They're like $5. Okay. Good as. It'll tell you exactly what it's done. Take it out a couple of degrees before your set degree. Yeah. And then let it rest, mate. Letting it rest is the most crucial thing you can do.
What does letting it rest actually do?
Juices.
It keeps the juices in. So if you, you've nailed it. If you cut it too quickly, the juices just flow out. But if you let it rest, the juices, some will fall, but it'll just retain it in there. And then that's where you don't have a dry roast. Yeah, you slice it against the grain. Once again, if you don't know, ask your butcher. And that is, slice it thin. It's a little trick. When you have, so like blade, it's a flavoursome meat, But if you slice it thin, it's impossible for it to be chewy. Because it's so thin and it just tears apart. So the thinner you can slice it, have a sharp knife. That's what
I'm just going to interrupt. The chopper cup, I can see a stage, I can see a barbecue, I can see a little mic, and then I can see you stand there like, all right, Tom,
live butcher chat.
Yes.
A live butcher chat.
Keep going, sorry.
Well, that's just about
Feeding
it.
everyone.
Yeah. No, I promise you, I will be far too drunk to be responsible.
We would have a trophy. We couldn't hold the trophy and cook. It'd be too hard after winning.
Yeah, exactly right. No, that's pretty much it. And then you do all your roasties. I'm not going to tell you to cook your veggies. But yeah, make your gravy out of your leftover juices in the bottom of the pan as well. But another thing that I've found is like really set apart my roasts from everyone else's. In my pan, I've got one of those little things that like hovers the roast up above
the aerating the wire rack or whatever it is.
Yeah, so you sit it above so it's not like sitting in the bottom and like almost steaming in its own juices. It's above hovering. I think that's the difference.
I'm going to go. I need some food.
Roast beef gravy rolls.
Thanks
How
for
good are
having
they? They'll be on one of my tea boxes.
Welcome to the swing of it, where we chat all things golf and butchers.
Do you know, I reckon I probably had 30 people message me about the oyster blades in the slow cooker. One bloke legitimately was like, that was a pretty vague recipe. Like, can you tell me what it actually is? And I was like, oh, yeah, good on you. I was like, I didn't want to bore everyone on the podcast. And he's like, can I get the recipe? I sent him the recipe, man, like my actual detailed recipe.
Oh, very good.
Oh, that's brilliant. See you all next week.
Bye-bye.